I was able to make a trip out to Welker Farms in December and had the opportunity to see their big bud tractors. When I was growing up in high school, the big bud was an iconic tractor, and it was a great opportunity to see those. And so here's a little tractor tour straight from Welker Farms. Here with Nick, and we just have had too many conversations, a lot of coffee, and just enjoyed each other's company. Get to pet the dog. I saw that.
You can see. No, Doug's been good. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun talking and connecting and talking about the system and the mixed mate and how these guys engineered it and the process they go through producing these units. What's kind of behind the mind that makes it happen? And
oh, not my mind. It's the other guys.
Oh, you're just a face.
Yeah, I'm the
pretty face.
No, not even that.
Oh,
kind of the marketing guy, maybe.
Yeah, I can give you that title.
Okay.
He's the ambassador.
The ambassador. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that title.
Yeah, the brand ambassador.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, we're going to have fun. We're going to go out and visit the big buds because that was a really iconic tractor back in the day when I was growing up, and I just kind of have special memories of that. And I have never got to see one in real life, so I'm really looking forward to this.
It's about time.
It's time.
Okay.
And we got to see the Brute too.
Yeah, that's definitely waiting for you too.
Yeah. All right, awesome. So let's go visit the buds. There we go. Got the big one right out in front here. So have you guys repowered this one, or is that?
No, this one is the engine that we bought it with.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the original engine. It's been rebuilt before from the previous owner.
Yeah.
So it might be the same block that's just been taken apart.
Sure.
Or it could be a complete swap.
So what's the horsepower on this one?
We don't fully know, but when we had it taken into big equipment, and they're basically the big bud company. When they went through it, they said it was probably hovering around 600 horsepower.
Cool.
It's tuned up some from stock. Originally this was a 525 50, and 525 is the horsepower. This is 600.
Yep.
50 is a series of transmission.
Oh.
So when we redid this last year, we bumped the numbers up to 600 because that's really where it's actually sitting at.
Cool.
But yeah, we didn't do the transmission or engine in this one. The other buds we actually did complete overhaul setup, but this one was running mechanically. It was pretty sound. It just needed a hydraulic upgrade, and the interior, the cab, the paint was a mess. It looked really bad.
So you got that all done, and it looks nice. It looks really good.
Yeah, I mean it's 1979, and it never had a facelift since then, to my knowledge, and so it was due for that. So that's the big thing. And then we got new tires on it. A bunch of little upgrades, built new ladders on it, different exhaust. The interior going there, it's completely redone. Looks much better. New lights, LED lights around the whole thing.
Cool.
So, and it has integrated GPS guidance built into it through Case IH. So this thing will do AccuTurn. You'll turn around on a point.
Oh, nice.
So it steers, and it's ISO bus capable now.
Okay.
So now we can hook newer implements into it and have a Pro 700 to be able to connect to everything.
Yeah.
And the hydraulics have been somewhat upgraded.
Yes. Yeah.
This is the same transmission that's in the 747.
Oh, cool.
This is actually a 9-speed. That's a 6-speed, but it's essentially the same interior.
So is that the twin disc transmission?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The tractor itself weighs about just under 50,000, a little over 50,000 fully fluid up without any external weights.
Okay, 50,000 pounds.
A lot of guys put salt or water in the wheels and get it up to that 65, 70,000 if they top it all.
Oh, so you don't run fluid?
We don't really need to. What we're pulling right now, this tractor's got enough weight for the horsepower.
So this is the dangerous hitch.
Yeah, that's what fell on the infamous leg arms.
Wow.
And see that bend right there, little chip? That's leg arms chipped it.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of hard on things, wasn't he?
That drawbar's 12 feet long, just under 12 feet. It's like 11 foot 6 inches. 6 inches wide, 2 inches thick.
Looks nice.
This was the most produced big bud.
Okay.
When they made this series, they made 158 of them, I think, or something. 150 some of them. So this was the popular one when it.
This is a Series 3,
Okay.
right here.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna walk over to the Series 2. This one
So,
here- okay,
time
go ahead.
frame, Series 1, Series 2, there's a time frame difference there.
Yes.
What was kind of the big feature jump between series?
The big feature jump between the series, essentially the frame is similar. This is a little bit heavier, but the cab was one of the big elements of it. We have a Series 1 back there. The original Bud was one of the first few built. It has a narrower cab.
Okay.
In the Series 1 and Series 2, the frame, the way it articulates is different. The way the power is given or supplied to the axle is completely different than the Series 2 and Series 3. The big jump with the 3 was the way it articulates in the center. It's just like today's tractors. The transmission drops down, there's output shafts going to the front and rear axle. These two, engine, transmission, then there's a drop box, or chain cases actually.
Oh.
Chain case drops down, then it splits and goes to the axles. So these are a little more archaic in that you can't put a modern transmission in them.
Okay.
Only like that one you could actually probably put like a newer Fujitech in, or if you really wanted to. But it's all in the way, you'll see the way it hinges and everything. With this, you would have to stay with an older style
Okay.
transmission. But this doesn't have it. This tractor weighs about the same as that one too. They're really similar in weight. And this one's rated at 525 horsepower, and it's got a manual transmission in it, not a power shift.
Okay.
Okay, I
Clark,
see.
A
Yeah.
14.6 truck transmission used
Okay.
in mini trucks. I mean, Fuller Eaton. Yes. This is the transfer case that we're talking about.
So that has a chain in it?
It is a 6-inch Morris chain in it.
Oh, wow.
And you would think, man, I mean, running a chain, that it does have a temperature sensor on it.
Uh-huh.
And the divider box hardly gets above 100 and some degrees.
Wow.
It looks like a chain you'd find in like a transfer case or something. I mean, it's a very fine. It's not like just like two big links and stuff.
There's probably 16 links or more.
Oh, so it's
20
more like
25
plates?
links.
Yeah.
Does it look like a
It's
gear
timing
on the
chain.
inside?
It's a gear. It's like a timing chain,
Uh-huh.
but it actually is made to fit into the gears.
Okay. So the chain has teeth on it, basically. Okay, gotcha.
And we redid this one 3 years ago, I think. Something like that.
something like that.
Decal.
It holds 525 gallons of fuel. So it can get you past your lunch. You're pretty hungry by the time you miss lunch, supper, breakfast, lunch, and supper again.
You're right.
But its engine was original, and it was starting to have some issues, and so we tracked down a versatile 1150 that had a good engine in it, but the transmission was shot, so we bought it for not a lot of money and pulled the engine out of that and put it in this, and then we got a new transmission for it too.
Cool.
So, and hydraulics got rebuilt and upgraded.
Yes.
So this is still an open center system, but it works really well for what we're doing. So, but this is honestly the easiest, cheapest, and easiest running tractor. This one, parts are the cheapest. It just runs. It just goes. It's good power. You just hook on, and it just there's just not a lot of complexity to it.
Sure. Yeah.
And this has the 80,000 pound cat axles.
Okay. So back here on the hitch.
Yeah, very similar to that one.
Yeah. Cool. And now we got the
This is-
Series 1.
Series 1.
Okay.
Yep.
So this was originally an HN 250.
Well,
And that-
actually 110. The very first ones were a 110,
Oh,
and
110.
then they did a little upgrade on the engine and came in. But this is actually a
110 or
well,
210?
actually,
210.
it had a
Not
250.
110.
It had 250 on
Yeah.
it because the base engine started at 250.
Okay.
But it was set at 310 as far as horsepower. But the emblem did say 250.
And the numbers on these, they did the engine make and then the horsepower. So like that one's a KTA. So that's a Cummins KTA
Sure.
1150. So this originally was a Cummins HN, and then we upgraded it to an N14 Cummins in it.
Okay.
This was the first one we went through. And same thing with this one. It was just good solid tractor, 45,000 pounds, everything. Had a lot of potential, but engine was shot, transmission was wore, and hydraulics were no good. So it did. So we put this in it, and this did a lot of seating for us for a number of years. And now it's kind of become the backup tractor. With those
Sure.
two.
Sure. One thing I noticed when I come back here is build quality and construction things. So we see right here where they've, welded edge on.
Look at the, you can see where they drill
Back
holes
here.
to blast through this with a torch. I mean, that looks like something a farmer did, these rough edges, not even ground down to clean them up. That was just the way they built these.
Yeah.
Wagner, when they were building, this wasn't Wagner, but the same design, they just, It's kind of cool, it's seeing the arcade.
So if you can look at this one,
We added this on too. These
yeah,
stock.
this was for hydraulics for running air drills and
Metric
upgrade.
tank we put on there.
So it was, it had a front, the hydraulic pump was out on the front originally
Right.
though?
It was right here,
Uh-huh.
and it stopped right here. So the original one was right here, a two geared pump.
Sure.
But then we're trying to increase to run an air drill and get that up. And actually, we converted this to a closed center.
Okay. So I see it's got like a little PTO drive shaft up there to the pump.
Yes, it does come right off, and
Yeah.
actually, it's still the original one,
Oh, cool.
isn't it?
The pump?
No, the drive shaft.
Oh yeah, I think we might have did the universals in it, but it's the same
Yeah.
drive. No, well, we
sure?
had it remade because we had to get a different.
Yeah, I
it
think
might be the
so.
original. I think we
But
had
it
to
was
rebuild.
built that way originally
Yeah.
with the little drive shaft there.
Off the front.
So I remember back in the day when we had our Steiger, that had like a Lovejoy coupling on it. If you didn't have that thing perfect, it'd just eat the coupler out.
I believe
Yeah.
that. Universal's pretty flexible. I think.
Yeah.
I think what this one was out of one of the first front wheel drive cars.
Oh, wow.
Is what they
For a
used.
drive shaft?
And I can't remember. So I think it was a European car,
Uh-huh.
and they got that to run it.
So it looks like same transfer case?
Yes,
Very-
they use the same one.
Okay. So that one's got plenty of capacity
Same
then.
transmission, same transfer case. This really is the same tractor as the Series 2. It's just a little bit smaller.
So you got another hydraulic pump under there.
Yes, we added that later just to simplify for air drill. That only runs the air drill, and it's a gear pump. Because,
Oh, okay.
it doesn't really necessarily need to be closed center
You don't need the pressure.
on that, and it works.
Yeah, it's just simple. It's just simple.
Yeah.
It just keeps going. This has got an electronic valve body on it, so we did go to rocker switches in the cab for
Okay.
the remotes.
Oh, and you got an extra oil cooler back here.
This thing's been redone multiple times since we did it, trying to get the oil to cool. We had a lot of hydraulic issues with heating and steering issues and all kinds of things, and that's when we tried to do one pump run all. You don't do that. It's
Okay.
just the way hydraulics are. It's just without everything being engineered 100% perfect and everything working, you're going to run into issues. So what's best is to divide it up. So the one pump in the front runs the steering and your implement, and then that pump in the transmission runs just the air drill. If you're not running a fan on the air drill, then you can do one pump.
Okay.
But that fan throws a whole can of worms into the hydraulic mix.
Yeah.
And so new tractors, they're pretty engineered to handle that.
Still, those are big loads on any tractor. Hydraulic
these
wise.
twin fans, sometimes
Yeah.
more. I mean, they're
Yeah.
these carts. These air drills are getting enormous. So
Yeah.
if you want to see the world's largest egg tire,
Sweet.
I wish we tried to get those on the big bud, but it just couldn't fit.
Oh, yeah, so you'd have to redo the fenders and all if you did
It
that.
wouldn't fit into the fenders.
Wow.
We measured and measured, and there was no way it was going to happen.
Huh.
So yeah, they're pretty nice tires.
Yeah. Does that make it ride nice?
Very nice.
Cool.
It's a dream.
I don't know how it would handle in mud. I really don't. We haven't really had muddy conditions here, but for actual here on our farm, it's night and day compared to the duals. The duals are rough riding.
So would it be kind of like at the farm progress show, they had that tractor with the big tires on it and they just went right in the lake and it floated?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, similar. Yeah. That's not New Holland, I think they had. Yeah.
Yeah, how many microseconds did it float?
No, it did. It floated. It
I
floated.
know it did.
Now we get to see the big brute.
This is Big Brew. So this was originally it's like a 2001 Titan 43 something, 4350 or 4320. So it was a Titan spreader truck, Case IH Titan spreader truck with it's got a Caterpillar 3176 in it. It's
Okay.
like a 11 liter.
That's the same thing as our old Steiger had.
Oh, it is it?
Yeah.
It's rated at about, it's rated at 380, boosts up to 4 1/4.
Oh, it's way powered more than our
it's
Steiger
got
was.
a lot of power. This thing screams. And it's got an Allison 6-speed in it. It's the
Okay.
M3000, I think, or 300. I think it's 3000, M3000 or M330.
Mm-hmm.
Very standard transmission in buses and trucks. About bulletproof. They said you can't. As long as you don't throw excessive amounts of horsepower to it, it'll run forever. And then the sprayer is a 2008-7 New Holland S1070. So it's a 100-foot boom and 1,650 gallon tank. And so we chopped that thing up, the frame up. It was just a pull type, and set it on top of the frame of this, built the rack to it, and then we kind of decided to go a little more than we needed to. And Ron Lerman from Big Equipment, who's the father of Big Bud basically, he gifted us a hood off of a salvage Big Bud in his yard. It was from down in Texas, next to the ocean. The salt ate away a lot of the tractor, just sat there,
Oh, wow.
next to the water. So you can see the salt damage. So we gave us a hood, we fixed it up, and we put it on the front of this thing. And then the cab's original, we just updated a few things there, but then we built the fenders. So these are fuel tank. Originally the fuel tank was a big thing hanging on the side of the bracket. This spreader truck was a fertilizer truck, and it showed. There was rust, the leaf springs were shot, there was brackets in the tank. It was ready to come apart. The truck didn't have a lot of hours on it, but it had been ran hard. But it has
Very cool.
like 280 gallons of fuel capacity, I think. And it'll run, I could spray, I think I can spray about 3,000 acres before I need to fuel up again. It's pretty nice. And 50-mile-an-hour road speed if you really want to push it. For the kind of just coverage of large fields, this thing does a really good job. It sips the fuel.
And it rides
You're pretty
very
nice.
well.
Pretty nice. Just kind of like a Cadillac.
Cool.
And it has integrated, or not integrated, it has it's the Trimble 20
50.
auto steer, but it's built into the steering wheel. So
Sure.
we got a nice big monitor in there and everything. But yeah, it's leaks all over, and they're still always kind of, every one of these things are just kind of like, when we get to it, little things that need adjusted and fixed.
That's normal
Yeah.
on a farm.
Yeah.
Very
Usually it's
cool.
when we're just about to use it, we're like, oh, I forgot about that. All right, let's fix that real quick.
Well, okay. One last thing. I got to go sit behind the wheel of that
go
thing
climb in
just to see what it's like.
Oh yeah, go ahead and climb up there. She's a little muddy. We were doing some deep ripping of this thing.
Steps were a little higher than I was expecting. Okay, here we go.
Might be a little dark in there.
It is a little, probably. Anyway, we've had a great time, lots of good conversation, and just been a lot of fun.
It's been a pleasure to get to know Doug here and what he's got going on, and it's an awesome product that they have that is really going to service the ag industry, and especially in the chemical application part. So we're really excited. We're really excited to see how that'll just fully integrate into our system and make life easier and safer. So.
Well, I want to thank you guys for having me out here. It's
Yeah.
been a great ton of fun with you guys, and looking forward to coming out again someday. Maybe we can go visit Glacier on the way.
That would be awesome. Yeah, it's well worth it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks.
Thank you, Doug.
Great, ton
I
of
appreciate
fun.
it. It's been good getting to know you. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking forward to